shoulder level transplant. And I know the list will go on. So during this press conference, we will be walking through the medical achievements, challenges involved in such a procedure, and the hope this transplant brings for individuals who have experienced similar injuries. We will also give you the opportunity to ask questions to our healthcare professionals at the end of the session. So without further ado, I would like to introduce our own Dr. Bipin Chevle, CEO, Gleneagles Hospital, Parel, Mumbai. I would request sir to say a few words about this wonderful program.
So good afternoon everyone. My friends from media, welcome to Gleneagles Hospital, Parel, Mumbai. This is not new for all of us, sitting here and talking about hand transplants happening in this place. Now we all know that this is the one-stop destination when it comes to doing these kind of complex surgeries, not only in city of Mumbai but all across the nation, and I can take liberty and say around the world as well. With Dr. Nilesh Satbhai and his team, making sure that whatever comes their way in terms of complications or whatever comes their way in terms of challenges, they are able to kind of make sure with their expertise and with the challenges that they face, give a new lease of life to people who definitely deserve more. And we have an example of Hritik here sitting just in the middle of the dais. Of course, he's highly qualified, and his grit and determination are unparalleled. Just to be without two hands for so many years, and again completing his graduation, being engineering, and then being an inspiration, wait with patience for getting hand transplantation done. I think it's really, really commendable. Hritik, I think he deserves a big round of applause. So, if it was not for him and if it was not for the parents, I don't think we would have been able to actually do it. So also is the donor who has actually given the consent, and the family of the donor who have given the consent for getting the transplant done. Because if you don't have donor, recipient is just waiting. And rest above, Dr. Nilesh Satbhai and his team, all of us know, he's pioneered this art, and across length and breadth of the city, breadth of the country, he's made us and the whole medical fraternity proud by doing these complex cases and turning out very, very successful results. So congratulations to Dr. Satbhai, a big round of applause to him as well. So glad, we really feel proud sitting in the same on the same dais and talking about it. And at Gleneagles Hospital, we are all committed as the destination, not only for hand transplant, but all of you all know that this place is known for all transplants, be it liver, lung, kidney, intestine, pancreas, so on and so forth. And we take pride in talking about good things, because it's not that we just want to gain popularity by doing that, but to spread the knowledge, to spread amongst people that whatever you think of is possible. Only thing is you need to be guided very well, and that's the reason all of you all are here. I hope the message goes loud and clear everywhere. Thank you so much.
Thank you sir for your kind words. Let me now introduce you to the star of the afternoon, Dr. Nilesh Satbhai. Dr. Nilesh Satbhai is Senior Consultant and Head, Department of Plastic, Hand and Reconstructive Microsurgery at Gleneagles Hospital, Parel, Mumbai. He is also the Director of Hand Transplant and BCA program at our hospital. I would like sir to say a few words.
Very good afternoon to all of you. I thank you all for being here as a part of celebration of Hritik's successful surgery, and I'm happy that all of you keep coming back to us on every occasion that we have celebrated in the past as well. Hand transplant now has gained quite firm roots in the country, and the system has really streamlined pretty well, especially in our hospital, where as we know, as we have discussed in the past as well, that this is a major complex procedure. It requires multidisciplinary support. It requires support from multiple departments, multiple professionals, in order to make this process successful. Equally important is the support of the nursing staff, of the ICU staff, of the hospital management, of the logistics that are involved, the ambulances which make sure that the organs reach to us in time, the airport authorities, the police professionals who help us in creating green corridors and transporting organs from distant places. All these people perform or coordinate in sync with each other in order to help us achieve these successful outcomes, and without them these programs would not have achieved what they have done today. So I wish to express my sincere gratitude and thank you to all of you, all these people involved in this program. Coming to Hritik's case, Hritik's case is another special case for all of us, especially because all transplant patients are associated with a unique story of themselves. There is a social element to it, there is an emotional element to it, there is a psychological element to it. Because hands are extremely special, and we realize the importance of hands only after we lose them. We take our day-to-day activities for granted for multiple reasons. We do not really appreciate the importance of hands in our lives. And in spite of not being a life-saving surgery, hand transplants have always created a great impact socially, emotionally, psychologically, because it dramatically changes somebody's life completely. So Hritik unfortunately met with an accident a few years back, and he had to lose both his arms. We'll listen more about it from him. But he showed the grit to complete his education, to secure a job, to work independently, to support his family, and then to have the determination to undergo a transplant in order to rehabilitate himself and to look at life in a broader, bigger perspective, and to be able to do many more things in future with the new hands that he has got. So we'll listen more about it from Hritik himself. The challenges in a transplant at this level, typically at shoulder level transplants, I'll tell you the world perspective on this. That worldwide there are literally 3 or 4 patients who have undergone shoulder level transplants. That is because these transplants are more complex considering the amount of tissue that we are transferring from the donor to the recipient. That also makes it very time intense or time sensitive, because we have a very short window within which the hands have to be retrieved from the donor and they have to be reattached to the recipient. Because ultimately function of all tissues in the body depends on blood circulation. So if the amount of tissue mass that we are transferring is more, then it is more critical that the blood circulation is restored earlier, or it is restored within the stipulated time, so that the tissues survive and they are able to function in the future. And that makes the situation more complex, because more tissue getting added to the body in a very short span puts the body under tremendous stress, and that makes the post-operative management, the intraoperative anesthesia management, the intensive care management extremely challenging. And you literally have to do it on a war footing. You literally have to do it from a minute to minute monitoring and modifications in the treatment accordingly, so that the body is able to bear the stress of that tissue, and it is able to maintain the blood circulation to the transplanted hands. It is able to sustain and it is able to support healing. And on top of that, what adds up is the immunosuppression, because all these patients have to be on immunosuppression, so that also has its impact on the body. And to monitor and titrate all these things is what adds up to the challenge. So that is why many units across the world do not prefer to do transplants above the level of the elbow. That is because it adds up to the challenges, it adds up to the risks. Fortunately enough, our program here in Gleneagles Hospital, we have already performed 7 total arm transplants in 4 patients till date, which is quite reassuring in terms of the outcomes and in terms of the efficiency of management that we have been able to carry out. So that is something unique which we must know, because a transplant at a distal forearm level or a elbow level is much different. It is much simpler as compared to a transplant at a shoulder level. And also that determines is the recovery time, the rehabilitation time is that longer, and both the patient and the rehabilitation team has to be focused and motivated in order to achieve a good functional outcome. The point I would like to stress here today is again the importance of organ donation. We have been talking on this since over the last 8 years now. It is 4 years now since we did our first case. We are still struggling for organs. We are still struggling for hands. In all the 13 patients that have undergone transplants in Gleneagles Hospital, none of the donor has been from Mumbai or Maharashtra. All these donations have happened in states outside Maharashtra, which adds up to the time constraints, which adds up to the complexity, which adds up to the overall cost of treatment. And we want to make this treatment available to more and more deserving patients, and for that, to make it more and more cost effective is our goal. And that could happen if we have in-house donations, in-city donations, or donations within the state. So it is just a matter of awareness among health professionals as well, among the transplant coordinators as well. Because on one hand, when we see that the number of donors in the last year in Maharashtra has increased for liver or kidney, but then why are hands not being donated? So it is important that the awareness for hand transplants reaches to all the involved individuals, all the involved parties, and we are able to achieve more and more donations in our vicinity, which will help us to make these programs more economical, more sustainable, more viable. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Satbhai, for giving us so much information about hand transplant and the program with us. अब मैं चाहूँगी ऋतिक की कहानी उसके ही जुबानी. Requesting Hritik to tell his story.